Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be doing more gel nails, of course. We are going to be doing these purple glass 3D jellyfish nails. I'm really excited to share this set because I feel like I have finally conquered being able to use 3D gels. It has been like 5 months since I started on this journey, and now I feel like I'm at a place where I can share my learnings. Also excitedly, I mixed them in a lot with the more nail art liquid inks so we can get into those kind of techniques as well. And also similarly, if you like the set, please do like and subscribe as it really does help boost the video in the algorithm. As always, before we get into the set, I just want to highlight nail safety. So if you're going to be doing your own gel nails at home, please make sure that you don't touch uncured gel with your skin, and also do your research into your lamp compatibility, all of that stuff. Now to start on the colors. Of course, as you can tell, this is going to be a monochromatic purple set, and the main reason for this is because I really wanted to use this purple Mayour Glass gel from their Wave collection, I believe. This is the only one that I've bought from this collection, but oh my gosh, look at this. It's absolutely insane in terms of the consistency. Definitely is a very sheer glass color. So if that's not what you're looking for, this is not the polish for you. But this is what I was looking for, so it's the polish for me. And as always, it would not be me if I wasn't using some form of glitter or flakes, so this is the DVOK December collection DG16 as well. And excitedly, this is also one of the showstoppers of this set, is the inks. I've had these more nail art liquid inks for a year now. I got them last summer. I haven't really used them that much, and I saw so many people mixing them into their 3D sculpting gels to color their gels, because you can't really color 3D gel using, you know, like a syrup gel. It makes it very sticky. So you can use inks, and you can also use powders, like chrome powders as well. But other than that, it doesn't really work with many other products to my knowledge. Hence, I'm going to be using a lot of the purple more nail art liquid, purpley, white, clear iridescent colors for this set as well. To kick it off with a bang, we're going to be going straight in with sculpting some 3D flowers. I'm going to be doing this on a matte background, so I'm painting the Hoholee Chakhan top coat first to kind of add some chrome powder, because we're going to be having an iridescent chrome matte background. This is just a very cheap chrome powder that I bought. I can't even remember. I think this must have been from Shein or Amazon, like in the early days of me starting gel nails. So it's very common chrome powder. You can buy this set most places. I will say though that the chrome powder is not that good. It does kind of gloop together towards the top of my nail, I find, even when I'm curing the Chakhan top coat like properly for 40 seconds. Still always seems to stick to the top more. I think it must be because the powder is not milled as finely as some other, you know, more high quality powders that you might get from like Inoi or those sort of Japanese brands. Or it could very well be that I am just not applying it correctly. But I think from all of my trial and error with this powder set, it doesn't give a great effect. So anyway, moving on, I have mattified that and then going in with the Jin.B liner gel just to draw on some squiggly swirls as a background with a easy general liner brush. And then we can get into the sculpting, which is the bane of my existence, but also the fun part of this video. I think definitely since I got the Valla Toy Gel, my experiences with 3D sculpting gels has been a lot smoother, a lot more enjoyable and fun, because it just works. I don't think I will ever be able to convert away from the toy Valla gel now. Like, I will fight you on this. Maybe there are other 3D gels that are very good, I don't know, but this is just my ride or die now. Anyway, I added in some of the ink into the 3D gel, as you could previously see, and just rolled that into one ball, then rolled it out into 5 balls, because I'm going to be doing each petal individually. This does look like a flower, but the vibes for it was like a star flower, like a starfish kind of shape, if that makes sense, because this theme is very oceancore, like jellyfish, starfish, and I really wanted to bring that into the shape of this flower, you know, rather than just doing it as a normal, quote unquote, normal flower. I mean, it probably still just looks like a normal flower, but I did try to shape it more like a star, so hopefully it comes across. You can let me know in the comments if it did or not. but we can just go and apply each ball onto the nail, and then I'm going to shape it, and then I'm going to cure it after each petal. I know there's different ways that people do this. Some people will apply all the balls on your nail and then go in and shape each one individually and then cure all at the end. Other people will apply one ball at a time and then shape it, cure it. There is pros and cons to both methods, because if you're going to be doing them individually, you do need to be very thoughtful with how you are laying them out so that you leave enough space for the other petals. Because, for example, say you apply 3 of them and then you realize, oh wait, I don't have enough space to apply the last 2, then you've kind of messed it up for yourself. Like it's going to be a bit, you can't, once it's cured, right? You can't really change like the placement of it. If you do it applying them all at the same time, then you do give yourself that flexibility. But what I find is that depending on your 3D gel, it can slowly morph out of its shape. So if you're applying them all at the same time, you will risk, losing some of that definition and needing to go over them again, and they may start to kind of blend together as well. So, pros and cons. And I think it's also true that depending on the design you're doing, you might want to go for one over the other. So anyway, after completing all of my petals, I did move on and try to paint some of the Jello purple gel, to add some of the definition that you usually see in these sorts of 3D jelly flower designs. It was too jelly for it to show up, so I did go in with one of the deeper, more nail art liquid inks in the dark purple to add that definition. I am not super sure if I'm happy with the outcome of this, to be honest, because I think it looks a bit patchy. The ink dries very, very quickly, so you have to work quickly with this. And definitely try to load your brush with it as well, so that you get like more of a smooth line. I think for a first attempt and for an experimentation, it looks okay. I don't mind the outcome of it, and I think it was needed to add definition to this nail because the light purple ink that I mixed in with the gel is very light as it is. And then as always, we can just finish it off by adding in some of these silver balls. It's very common for this sort of pattern technique, and top coat it all. I am trying to only top coat the 3D gel and not get any on the background, of course, because the background that I have done is matte, so we want to try and avoid getting any clear, normal top coat on that. And just to show you again, I also wanted to include myself sculpting the deeper purple flower that I also did for this set. This is going on the opposite hand, so the middle finger of the right hand. And I did want to, add some contrast. I didn't want it to be an exact mirror of the nail that I'd previously done. So I'm playing around with the colors again. This deeper purple, I think, definitely shows up obviously more. So it definitely gives a much more obvious look. I really like how this one turned out, but at the same time, I feel like, as you'll see at the end, I didn't really have to hand a white paint that I felt would mix going over the top of this. So I left this one pretty bare, which I think is nice as well, because you can see when you mix inks into 3D gel, the ink dries so quickly that it doesn't actually create a smooth color. Usually you'll have this sort of contrast between where it's been a bit darker, where it hasn't kind of mixed as well. I'm sure you could even it out if you added a lot more ink, right? But personally for this, I really like the definition that this added. Maybe it could have been cool if I'd added on some white lines into the center, but I like it as it is. And this is how it looks finished as well. Now we can move on to some other designs. So this one, I'm going to be doing some fun inks techniques as the background. So we're going to be painting on one layer of that gorgeous glass purple. I'm going to be top coating this and then also building in some more of the purple as like an ombre around the sides, just to add a little bit more definition and layering. This is the beauty of using such sheer colors, is that you can be pretty rough with them and it still looks overall very good. And then once I've layered that on, I painted one coat of top coat and not cured that. I'm not sure where that clip went, but then I'm going to go on and add this ink directly into the top coat, because as you can see, it doesn't dry down as quickly. It enables you to, I don't know how to describe this, but it kind of pillows out, kind of blooms out, but also blooms out in a way where it keeps like the ink element of the hollowing of the inside. Does this make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but I pretty much just went in and layered the light purple, the white, and the iridescent purple kind of color, as well as the clear, until I felt like I got to a point where I liked how the design looked. And then I went in with the après blending fluid just to remove some of them that I thought, actually, you know, I didn't like that bit as much, so I'm gonna remove it, I'm gonna erase it. That's the beauty of using inks, especially if you're going to be using the combination of your blending liquid and your inks. And then after I was happy with my design, I cured that, and then I also just painted over one more coat of the clear glass color just to add that element of like it was encapsulated underneath the kind of glass, because I was trying to give, you know, oceancore, kind of like water vibes to this set, which is also why I added in some flakes as well. Then we can go in and do some jellyfish drawing. This is inspired by a set that I made at the beginning of 2023, but it was in a blue colorway, and it had, I was using inks for that set as well, and I was drawing jellyfish as well and layering, and this kind of similar design, but I wanted to do an upgraded version of it. I at least hope that this turned out as an upgraded version of it. So as part of that, I wanted to draw on some jellyfish. I did mix the Kokoist non-wipe accessory bond with their black paint in order to create a colored non-wipe accessory bond so that I could draw with, because I just find if you don't have a colored white or black like gel in your collection, it's so useful. And if you want to be resourceful, you can just mix it with a black. Like it doesn't, you don't need to go out and, you know, buy a specific black gel paint to paint with for your 3D designs if, you know, you have a 3D gel of some sort and a black paint already. And so after doing all of the chrome powder, top coating kind of steps, here's what this looks like. And I thought this was so satisfying to film, me just, you know, crushing up this paper that had all this like gel, used gel on it. Anyhow, moving on, I'm going to be doing more 3D, but this is actually different to the design that is captured in the top left corner of this video, because if I'm being totally transparent, I did actually do this nail, and then this is my revision of the nail that I did because I didn't like the first nail that I did and I didn't like the outcome of it, so I'm redoing it. Anyway, we're going to be doing the same kind of ink 3D gel flake technique, and then I'm going to try and make lines. This is different because I wanted to, you'll see at the end the outcome of it, I wanted to wrap ribbons on and shape ribbons on with the 3D gel. This is very difficult for me to describe, but this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to flatten out my ribbons into a flat rectangle and pick them up. Picking them up was difficult, I will not lie to you. Usually using alcohol on your spatula helps, but I was being a bit lazy. Anyway, I layered this on and tried not to be perfectionist because I didn't want it to mold into itself. You can see here, I did one stripe and then I'm kind of tweaking it around, seeing what I like, what I don't like. Clearly I did not like that glob being there, so I took it off and then I cured that, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm doing this in steps because I thought it's gonna be really difficult for me to layer a shape that I like in one go. So I'm going to add on a few and shape them accordingly. Didn't really know what sort of shape I was making, but this is the shape that I've made. This is how it has turned out. I actually quite like it, to be fair. And then I thought, you know what, too, it's missing something. So I'm gonna add on a little third bit and rotate around. And this is how it turned out. I don't really know what to think of this. I think I like it. It's very abstract, and I think actually if I'd done it in a darker colorway where there was more contrast, or even if I'd done it completely transparent and sheer on a sheer background, that could have been really cool as well. And also on a bigger nail, I think this would look a lot better if I'd not done it on the pinky finger. But overall, I like it. It's abstract, it's weird, it's experimental, but I like it. It's kind of like a really weird E like letter. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. So I added in some rhinestones and then I'm going in top coating. I did top coat this in sections as well because I wanted to keep the definition of the shape in there as well. So usually I did one and then this is the second one that I'm kind of top coating, and then I did a third one as well just to try and make sure I top coated it all but that it didn't glob together. Because I really just, you know, you have to be careful when it comes to 3D not to lose the definition that you have with it. And that was it, I think. That's pretty much it. No? Okay, I wanted to top coat some more. Clearly, I felt like, you know, wasn't top coated enough. I actually don't know if the Toy Valla Gel is non-wipe. I just assume it's not. And this is what it looked like. I like it. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I think it's really weird. I'd like to replicate this sort of design in future, especially in different colorways. I think it could be really cool, especially if you layer it in with some different gems as well. We can follow suit using more of the ink technique as well. I think this design is probably pretty straightforward. It's nothing amazing. I just wanted to do some 3D stars on a glass border ink background. You will see. I really just love using these inks like this, and it makes me kick myself for not using inks as much in my sets for the whole year that I have had these inks, because it just looks so cool. I just love this. Other than the Smisky nails that I've used these inks for, which was literally just an experimentation set for me to use these inks, I haven't really used them that much. And now I'm like, why haven't I? Because they create such a gorgeous effect. I think it really will be one of the things that I use a lot over the next 2-3 months whilst we have summer. Also, because excitedly, I ordered the Favory, I do not know how you pronounce this brand. Their limited edition neon pop inks. It wasn't available on Sweetie Nail Supply, so I had to buy them from Testa Korea. Don't know when they're going to arrive, but excitedly I bought the neon set, which is like a yellow, a green, an orange, a purple, and a pink, which is just the perfect neon colorway, right? And oh my gosh, I cannot wait to make some. I'm thinking like neon fruit maybe, or something abstract again with neon. Not really sure. I'm just so excited to get into that set to use it. So definitely super excited. If anybody knows or has any tips for using the Favory inks specifically, please let me know that down below. I also want to say, I guess the main reason why I love inks is just because you can create some really cool abstract designs with them that still somewhat look good, as long as you know how to use your blending liquid and your inks and layering them, and how quickly to work with them, whether you should like top coat them or not. They can create some really nice designs. Definitely one tip that I would give you if you're going to be using inks is that you can't be a perfectionist with it. You kind of have to go with it and try and create something that's really beautiful whilst allowing the ink to be free. And I know the inks are very popular in Japanese nail designs, Japanese nail trends, but I also really like being able to include them in more modern aesthetics as well, because I feel like nail inks, they kind of tend towards two realms. They either are mixed in to create really colorful 3D designs, or they create that more abstract, nuance, kind of Japanese design, which is pretty, but it's not exactly my aesthetic. So I really appreciate, you know, brands like More, who have created such pretty pastel colors and like these different colors. They're not just, you know, browns and blacks and kind of like more traditional kind of vibes. It's pretty. I just really appreciate the different colorways and different kind of vibes that you can create with inks now. So yeah, please definitely let me know in the comments below if you know of any other techniques or ways to use inks, because I really like to explore using them more. I find that kind of funny. More, the brand, More. Yeah, anyway, this is how this nail looked. I really like the outcome of it. It's like subtle, but also cute. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Then we can move on to another nail. This nail, again, is pretty similar in the design. It's pretty simple design. I'm going to be ombreing the glass base coat color and also layering it in with the DVOK DG16, like for the flakes, but this is very subtle. I will be honest with you, you can barely see these flakes. I thought it would be really cute, but when I was actually trying to layer it, the flakes are not that plentiful in the gel. They're quite dispersed in the clear liquid. So I think in order for me to get the kind of vision that I wanted and an abundance of the gel, I would probably have had to, you know, do like 3 or 4 different layers. I think at one point later on in a different nail, I did kind of pull the gel out onto my pad and try and specifically pick the colored strips to put on. It was still a little bit difficult for me. So yeah, I don't know. One thing to know where if you're going to be using the December collection and this gel specifically is that it's not like that plentiful in the gel. It's quite dispersed out. It's not an issue. I kind of like the subtlety, but I kind of would have also preferred it to be more obvious as well, because I think, as you can see here on the matte version, it looks so like bright against the matte top coat. And that makes me think as well, I would really like to experiment with more matte designs and encapsulating flakes and iridescence in a matte gel, like under a matte top coat. I think that could be really pretty as well to kind of add a different contrast. So it's definitely something that I'm going to explore more and try and find inspo on Instagram. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the inspo for this design that I'm drawing right now. It is again another jellyfish, but I'm going to show up the image here that I am taking the inspiration from. It is a tattoo, and oh my gosh, this tattoo artist, they're called Joy Tattoo. I love their work, and I first came across their work 2 years ago. And at that time, they were doing a tour in London, like a Europe tour. They tend to do one every year so far from what I've noticed. And the time when I discovered them, they were in London, but I knew, no, I don't have any tattoos right now. And it's something that I've wanted for like 10 years now. I've always known I want a tattoo, but I've never known exactly what I wanted my tattoo to be. And for the longest time, I thought I want it to be a tattoo that has meaning. And there was a specific quote that meant a lot to me. And I thought, you know, I kind of want this quote to be incorporated in the tattoo that I have. But then the more that I was researching tattoo artists and looking at designs and things, the more that I realized, actually, I don't really think that this quote would translate well to a design, because I didn't want it to be just the quote. I wanted it to be something like an I and a W and then an equal sign and some way of kind of combining the two. The more that I looked into this, the more I just realized I feel like I wouldn't be able to find something that encapsulated this well in a way that I liked the art to be on my body, because a tattoo is permanent, right? So anyway, during that time, I did discover Joy Tattoo and I just fell in love with their work, absolutely fell in love with it. And I've been following their work for 2 years now. As you can see, they do a lot of jellyfish, a lot of like flame, water, kind of abstract, but also like stunning flowing work. I just love their artwork so much. And they're in London in July and August this year, and I'm so tempted to apply to get a tattoo from them, which would be my first tattoo. I don't have any tattoos. I've always wanted a tattoo, but never really known what I wanted. And then I just realized, actually, I just want artwork that's on my body that I really like. And I feel like if I've liked their work for 2 years, that is a sign that I would like to have their work on my body. Does that make sense? Like their art on my body, like that's the one thing. And I already know exactly where I would want the tattoo and kind of what it would look like. It's just going through that process of designing and coming to a art piece that we both really like and are excited about. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I will be getting a tattoo this year, maybe I won't be. I'm very much a thinker. I do not like to just make impulsive decisions. I'm very thoughtful and intentional with the decisions that I make, but I feel like at some point you kind of just have to accept you want it, it's artwork, it doesn't have to have meaning, so just do it. And with all that being said, that is a very nice segue into how this nail has turned out. I really like the design. I think I will keep experimenting with drawing these more intricate designs as well, because I do think some elements of the chrome kind of melded together, even though I was using the needle liner brush from Kokoist. But you know, work in progress, we will see. Definitely something that I want to try and improve on, especially creating detailed designs but not specific designs. So detailed but abstract detailed designs. I think that's something that I really love in terms of any artwork that I appreciate. So it's something that I'd also like to bring into my nails as well. And then the next nail, I will share the inspo for it here. This is a nail that I actually tried to replicate in my melon soda set, which is from March. Yeah, very appreciative of the reception of that video as well. But anyway, there was one specific nail that I made that was kind of me molding squiggly lines onto the nail. Yeah, that doesn't explain it very well, but this inspo here will explain it, okay? And considering that the inspiration I took from is actually very transparent and glass-like, I wanted to try and replicate something that was more similar to the inspo, especially because I had this Mayour Glass purple gel, right? I thought that this could be really pretty to build 3D gel on top of and hopefully achieve this look a lot more. And I think actually the outcome of this nail definitely is a step in the right direction. Still something that I think I could refine more, but I also think because, as you can see, I built some of the flakes into this gel that I'm layering on. The flakes add a dimension that means it isn't as translucent looking, but I also like that because the flakes capture the sunlight and they glisten in the sunlight in a different way. I just really love using flakes, okay? I will never go over it. I will say, I think I probably should have made the, you know, the squiggly 3D line that I applied a bit thicker so that I could have shaped it upwards more rather than it laying quite flat on the nail. But I like it both ways. I think, you know, it's just difference of taste, difference of how you're feeling at that specific moment with how you're going to mold it and shape the design. But I'm really happy with the outcome, and I think, as you can see in the thumbnail for this video, the way that it looks in the sunlight and how glass-like this nail actually looks in the sun is stunning. I'm so happy with it, genuinely. So definitely, yeah, a step in the right direction. I really love it. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this nail, if you would even replicate designs like this. Like, I'm always so interested because everybody has such different tastes in their artwork and the sorts of designs that they like. This could be so ugly to somebody else, but to me, I really like it because I like those more abstract, layering, glistening, glass kind of vibes. Even though my work itself is a very big work in progress, there's still lots of elements that I need to improve on with myself as well. And I look at some other people's art and I'm just like, how have you got to that level to be able to create something like that? Because I could only dream of creating something like that. Like, yeah, anyway, a bit of a tangent, but I'm just appreciating other people's artwork again, I guess. We have almost finished with this nail. I think I did want to keep it pretty simple. Just apply some gems, keep it like that. I did actually just wipe off one of the gems just because I top coated it accidentally and I didn't want to cure that on it. And this is what it looks like. I also did do the same for a pinky finger, which looks like this. I won't lie, I think the shape of it looks a bit suspicious. Maybe it's just my mind, but anyway, we will move on. For the last nail, it's going to be pretty much the same steps that I've done across the previous nails. So we're going to be blending some of the inks again, creating that abstract design, as well as doing some chrome painting on top. But this one is going to be just a pure jellyfish. If I'm being honest with you, this nail is actually a redo of this design because the first nail that I made, I didn't like. I used the Jello Edge Gel to create the jellyfish because that was what I had used previously in the 2023 blue set, and it came out so well in that set. I will show the photo here. But for some reason, when I redid it this time, it just looked bad. You'll see at the end because I do a comparison. It didn't look good, so I redid it basically, and I did it in a more smooth version, which was okay. It was fine. I was kind of sad because I lost the abstract layering that I'd done underneath to that design that I didn't like over the top of it. And you can see me doing it here. I was trying, it wasn't really You know, like you need to relinquish control when you're using these inks, right? And just let them be what they're gonna be. But I wasn't as happy with the inks on this design, but it's fine, it's fine. At the end of the day, it is a base layer, it looks cool, it's just me being a perfectionist. And so I guess as we finish off this video and this nail set design, I want to talk a little bit more about life updates, you know? Because I have just moved. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be moved now. Still within London, but a different flavor of London, you know? If you know of London, like roughly, or you've lived in London, grown up in London, you know, that kind of thing, you know that different pockets of London have different vibes. So I've moved from one pocket to a different pocket, and I'm so excited to explore the new vibes of where I am now. And I'm just living with one friend now as well, and it's just like perfect. Chef's kiss, the vibes are good. Things are great, we love it. But the one thing that I do want to say is my nail station, she's still a work in progress. She's not been set up yet. I bought new drawers so I can, you know, start to store all of my nail gels in my drawers so that I don't have them in clear boxes, which is going to be so great, but it also means I'm going to have to go through a project of, you know, painting swatch sticker glass beads to go on top of all my bottles so that I can see them when I open the drawers and know exactly what the colors are, because I'm getting to that point where I did actually create a database. This is very sad, right? I love data, I love tracking things, I love collections. I did create a database that stored all of the gel polishes I had in it, and I built out all the filters so that I could filter, you know, like on the color, and then without having to go to my collection, see all of the swatches that I have. But that has kind of been abandoned because I have too many gels now. So I'm just swatching them on my cloud swatches, but I also, you know, if I'm going to store them in drawers, I need to have like those round bead swatches to go on top of the bottles anyway. So yeah, that's a work in progress. That is actually going to be my next video. Very excited to share the moving vlog slash moving my whole nail station, because I just thought that would be really interesting to me. I also want to document the process, so I'm gonna film it. We'll see how that turns out. I have done like the first part of the video, still pending the second part of the video because I've not set up my nail station yet. I've basically set up every other aspect of my life. You know, you have your desk, which is the main priority if you are a young person, and then my bed, like my hair, my makeup stuff. But nails, she is yet to be built, but it's probably going to be something that I do tomorrow or Tuesday. So yeah, very exciting life updates. And with that, we have pretty much finished. You can see here, this is the comparison of the nail I made first with this one. The one I made first, absolutely horrific, ugly, we don't know her. And this is how the whole set turned out as well. So excited. I really like how it came out. I think my skills with 3D, again, were improving more and more and more. I also am happy that I didn't completely ruin the set using the inks, so that's a great thing as well. And I'm looking forward to, you know, learning, experimenting more, making more in future. So please let me know down below what your thoughts are. As always, if there's anything that you want to chat about in the comments that I spoke about in this video, any questions you have, let me know that as well. Always love chatting to people about nails. And with that, I think I'm going to sign off this video. Please like and subscribe if you liked and want to see more videos from me. You know, me talking about nails, talking about life, moving vlog, that's exciting as well. To be honest, I've also been buying far too much nail stuff recently, so there may be another haul that's coming soon. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? With that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and goodbye.